The return of the 3D platformer.
Or is it? What?
I don't know. I was giving stupid looks the whole time.
Oh.
It's just fine with me. Okay. That's episode 7, right?
What?
Yeah, this is episode 7, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. You ready?
Boy, we've done so many we lost count.
Alright. You ready?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Triangle Squared. I'm your host, Brett Beck, and joining me today, as always, Saul. Sometimes plays Dark Souls, but has apparently quit recently. Bridges.
It needs to come out on the Switch. I'll play it again.
That'll never happen.
Like the trilogy, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Boy, if they did that.
It won't happen.
Oh my god, I hope they do.
Okay.
I can dream.
Let me tickle your fancies for a second. You okay with that? It's a little...
Sometimes.
Okay. Never happened, but what if they made Demon Souls, remade from the ground up, in Dark Souls 3's engine for the PS4?
Oh, that'd be different. And Dark Souls 3 engine, I'd play it for certain. It would feel weird because one is...
You can jump.
Oh yeah, you couldn't do that in Dark Souls 1. Or
Demon
Souls. Yeah. Yeah, Dark Souls 1's engine sounds like it might be better for that.
I'd be careful about pulling this Wendy's cup in.
Oh, yeah.
I had somebody accuse me of trying to sponsor McDonald's. And that's not true.
I'll let y'all know when I'm getting free food. Because there'll be lots of it.
I'm getting free food at all. I will eat it all. If you want to sponsor us, if you want to sponsor our lunch, please let me know.
I'll take a spicy McChicken. Only mayo.
Okay. All right. Well, Saul, this has been another fucking crazy week. I had strep throat at the beginning of the week. Did a whole bunch of nothing. But I'll tell you what I did do.
What's that?
Something you have yet to do.
Uh-oh. I don't know what this is.
Get that beautiful, sweet 0.3% rare platinum
in Terraria.
For Terraria.
Terraria. Yeah, I'm only missing 3 trophies.
I want you to know that you are not online in another fucking rainbow slime spawn.
I hate this world.
Okay.
That's realistically the last trophy I need. Because the pets trophy...
The pets trophy, as soon as you log in, you'll be fine. And you have to log in a couple minutes in the corrupt world.
Yeah. I got that one.
You have the hallowed. You don't have the corrupt.
Is that not the one that I had to log in and log back in to get? Or is that hallowed?
That was hallowed.
Okay.
Because it's just one hallowed world, and then we took the same hallowed world and made it corrupt.
Yeah.
So, but what have you been playing? Because after that, because I was sick, I ended up playing... to interrupt what I just asked you, but I ended up playing Tales of the Borderlands, which you've been telling me to play for a while. Fucking great. And I don't even really...
Is it still free? It's still free,
yeah,
right?
Dude,
yeah, get that
yes.
game. It's... Oh my god. You don't even have to like
so
Borderlands.
Good. It's really long for a Telltale game,
yeah,
but it doesn't matter.
It's about 12 hours.
It's really good. Really good. Fun platinum. Storyline's fun. Humor's fun.
There's a certain scene in that game that I'm not going to say on camera to spoil it, but I want to know your thoughts after.
Is it the bro scene? 'Cause
no, it has to do with a lot of people towards the end.
Okay. But anyway, so have you played anything else? Because as soon as I got the platinum in that and Terraria, I actually took the rest of the week kind of off, and I've just been watching a bunch of TV.
I've been replaying Grand Theft Auto 5 story. I actually really, really enjoy Grand Theft Auto 5 storyline.
Did you pick that up again, or did you just
I
still
picked
have
it up again. I've been looking for something to play that was a little bit more than Dark Souls and RPGs that I've been playing a lot lately. I thought that was a good alternative, so I picked that up. Finally got my hands on.
Well, that's what Far Cry was for me. Primal. It was like a nice change of pace.
Yeah, and see, the Grand Theft Auto 5 is the only Grand Theft Auto I've actually played the storyline all the way through. And
you're missing out, man.
I've done
3 was good, but Vice City's fucking
Well,
awesome.
I played through Vice City until that mansion at the end. And I know that's at the very end of the game, but my memory card got corrupted. So
it's close to the end of the game, but yeah, close enough.
But I've been playing that, and I've beaten that storyline 3 times so far. 1 on Xbox One, and then 2 more on PS4. This is going to be my 3rd time. I love it. It's so fun to me. I like the characters. Everybody's fun in that. I got my hands on a Switch, finally. And I got the blue and red Joy-Con one, what I was looking for.
Copycat.
Got Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8. Been playing lots of those. More so Breath of the Wild, but I put a good probably 5 hours into Mario Kart 8. Me and Annie been playing, and
this is a PlayStation podcast.
But you asked what I'm playing.
They lynch you. No, I'm kidding.
You wore a Breath of the Wild shirt like the second episode.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. They lynch you. No one said anything about that. But again, it was 2 episodes in, and who gives a shit about what we wear?
That's true.
You have to have a lot of people to watch before the random troll people.
The pitchforks come too.
Well, the troll people come from under the bridge and ask for the troll toll, and I tell them I don't have it, and then they want the baby boy's hole.
Yeah, don't.
You know,
I don't have that. I don't have either one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing through that. Probably 10
you
hours.
You don't have a baby boy's hole.
I don't have the toll either, and I don't know one of the consequences.
Okay.
But Breath of the Wild's pretty good. 10 hours in, which is not a lot in that game apparently. I think I've done 6 shrines. I just met up with a character that is the first real important character you meet. That's not the person in the very beginning. So it's great. It's pretty good.
Small aside, we don't have to spend too long on this segment, but you know, I haven't seen you, so fuck it, let's catch up a little bit. But now that you have a Switch and you really played Zelda, I'm gonna say and I think I've already told you this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say my opinion. I still think Horizon's a better game than Zelda, and I mean that in every sense of the way. It's fresher, it's smoother, it's better written, it's better played.
For those that don't know me, that are random watchers and viewers and people who enjoy us, they wouldn't know that my very first video game was A Link to the Past, and there's something about this game, the soundtrack. It's new, but they've mixed in older songs.
Well, really, the void of a soundtrack is odd in that game, because you know Zelda games always have so much music, and that game when you're out and about, music only comes when danger starts to ramp up.
I like that. I don't mind it. It's very reminiscent. The sound that's in that game.
Here's the thing: I don't think the game is bad.
Yeah,
I don't. It's just literally, dude. I dropped it so hard.
Oh, see,
I had zero, and it's like 20 hours in, and I have zero want to go back to it. And it'll happen one of these days. I think maybe when I go to San Francisco, I'll want to play it.
Get some time on the airplane.
Because Vita's been, I don't know, I'm in the weird area this week. That's why I decided to take a break. Because I played all these games, started trying to play some stuff on Vita, and I'm just not feeling. I mean, and you know I love Sly Cooper. I started playing Sly Cooper 3 on Vita. Love that game, but it's not even that it's on Vita. It's just I don't.
Well, it's kind of a weird lull right now in the world is that. The 2017
barely played Prey. Don't even care to at this point.
Well,
not anything against the game. What I played of it's fun. It's just
2017 had such a good start in this year.
I think it burned everything out. So that's what I'm hoping is that
Destiny
Farpoint comes out. Farpoint comes out the week this post. So
right, it'll be in the drop.
And that's probably, man, that's really what I'm going to spend the bulk of time on, and then I'm probably just going to chill. I wish you had a VR, though. I think to get the Platinum, which there's a Platinum in this.
It requires 2 people.
It's co-op. The game's got co-op stuff.
I thought about picking it up, but may have to wait a little bit longer. Farpoint definitely is going to drive it, but maybe not drive it home like it needs to. For me.
Well, we spent enough time on this section, which is not even really a section. It's just something I do because I don't see you, Saul, and I love you, buddy.
I work too much.
And you have not tickled my fancy since we started recording, and I don't even know what's going on, so... Are you okay? Do we need to communicate more?
No.
Does there need to be a safe word?
Help.
Okay. Well, I stole your thunder last week, and I went ahead and did the news first. So this week, I'm gonna let you do the drop first.
Okay.
We're gonna do the old switcheroo.
Well,
since you got a switch.
But for those that don't know, if I don't announce the date, it is the Tuesday.
I think this is something we want to start dropping off. This is gonna be the last episode. Oh,
Drop
I guess.
it off.
Hold on. I guess before we get into this, we post a new episode every Monday, 12 p.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. We are available on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music. Subscribe to us if you like any of this. If you like us on the iTunes thing, subscribe, give us a rating. It helps us more than you know.
Thank you to the very first person who left us a review.
We got somebody one. It made me feel special. It made my heart feel like it dropped to a place it's never been before. Anyway, one other thing that I added last week, and this is probably the last time I really make it obvious, is that we've added timestamps to all videos. So moving forward, every video will have a topic-by-topic timestamp breakout. So if you don't want to spend too much time watching any one topic or listening to us rabble on when we get lost in our talk, you can just kind of click through to whatever section you want.
Right. And as we said, this is the last time we're doing it, but... If I don't say a release date, it's the Tuesday, the day after this podcast airs. So I will specify what day in the week the rest of them are.
If they quit releasing these goddamn ACA games...
Neo Geo games?
The Neo Geo games.
See how well I could do this without being blind as a bat. So, following the trends of the past 4, 5, 6 weeks, we have another Neo Geo game.
Third week in a row, I think, but hyperbole.
Right, we have Overtop. Overtop is a racing game released by SNK in 1996. Players participate in breathtaking races through urban areas, mountainous regions, and snowy roads. The courses also feature weather variations to add more variety to the game. Not a whole lot that we don't already have. Next up is, and that is, of course, a PlayStation 4 digital title.
Did you update the imager?
No, I was at work today.
You lazy piece of shit. Okay, go ahead.
Next up is Akiba's Beat. This is a PS4 and PS Vita, both digital and retail.
This is it's a sequel to Akiba Strip, right?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that what that is?
It's like a weird game that had to do with stripping. It was a Vita game.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Continue.
Okay. Asa Tachibana is a simple, jobless nerd, living a lazy, cozy life in Tokyo's infamous Otaku Mecca, or Mesa. Akihabara, to him, every day is Sunday, but now thanks to a time loop, every day really is Sunday. What's more, people's delusions are manifesting in reality, and only Asa and his newfound friends are even aware that anything is amiss. Can they set things right, or will Akiba be beat? Or Akiba. It's actually a really cool, very premise for a game. And I'll probably pronounce his name wrong. It's Asahi.
Sounds like you said Asa.
Yeah, I think I did say Asa a couple times.
Asa, dude.
Asa. Bala Latino. Love the description for this game. A fun dance game for all your family and friends.
If you like to dance.
That's a PS4 digital title.
They got you covered.
Black and White Bushido, a PS4 digital title out Wednesday. Black and White Bushido is 1 to 4 player stealth 'em up arena brawl. Never heard stealth 'em up before. That's pretty cool. Choose between light and shadow and 3 challenging game modes. Hide with camouflage, throw shurikens, and drop smoke bombs to beat your friends locally or online. Chroma Squad finally coming out for PS4 digital, out 5/19, which is a Friday release. Chroma Squad is a tactical RPG about 5 stunt actors who decide to quit their jobs and start their own Power Rangers-inspired TV show. Cast actors, purchase equipment and upgrades to your studio, craft weapons, and build giant mechas out of cardboard and duct tape. Once cameras are rolling, control your cast of 5 jumpsuit-clad warriors in dramatic turn-based battles.
This next one, didn't this come out like a couple weeks back, or was it a demo for demo? Didn't we make that stupid joke?
No, we said it.
Or did it come to
like
PS4?
I think it was PS4 because I think limited run games are doing a Vita release for this that's physical. But Demo, the last recital, a PS Vita title that's digital. Demo, the last recital, is a rhythm music game in which the player must hit notes to the melody of the music. Enjoy the rich storytelling as well as tons of DLC content. We have a game we mentioned a little bit earlier, Farpoint, for PSVR, digital and retail.
Looks really good.
Farpoint is a riveting VR space adventure set on the hostile alien planet. On a mission to pick up scientists studying an anomaly near Jupiter, a sudden rupture nearby sends you and their station crashing onto an unknown alien world. Separated from your colleagues, you must use holographic logs scattered throughout the landscape to reunite with scientists and escape the planet. That sounds actually
Dude, I hope that's as good as it looks. It's like early impressions look really good on it. Like people seem really like hyped on it.
This is a Tuesday release. Does the gun come out Tuesday too?
Yeah,
okay.
I got the bundle. Jonathan told me my pre-order came in. He said the gun actually looks pretty cool.
Okay, cool deal. Talking about the VR gun for those that didn't.
Yeah, what is it? PSVR AIM or some crap like that. It's basically the Sharpshooter 2.0 from the PS3.
PS Move.
Yeah, which was cool though. It's a good gun. I'm a little mad it doesn't work with Farpoint. I feel like it should, but
because you could play Killzone 2 with that game, couldn't you? Or gun?
Killzone 3 and Resistance 3.
Oh,
that was the year when all the 3s were coming out.
Yeah, God of War 3 too.
No, God of War 3 came out in 2010.
Isn't that when Resistance 3 came out?
No, Killzone came out in 2011 February.
Dang,
Resistance came out
earlier.
like September 2011.
I thought that was earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Future Unfolding, a PS4 digital title. Future Unfolding is an action-adventure that's all about exploration. Your goal is to unfold the mysteries and solve the puzzles hidden in the beautiful landscapes around you. We got Haikuko, Kyoto Wins, which this actually was... No, I might be thinking of something else. This is a PS Vita digital and retail title.
Looks like Rurouni Kenshin and Samurai Champloo just smashed together.
This game sounds so familiar to me.
It says
the
remastered.
Okay, I may have... I don't know.
Of the visual novel.
This remastered telling of the beloved visual novel Hakuokoi focuses on the story set in Kyoto.
Akoki? I don't know.
The young Chizuru, determined to find her father, will romance the famous samurai of the Shinsengami through the series of engaging stories in the historical fantasy adventure. Interesting. Original novel. We have Injustice 2 coming to PS4 digital and retail. Power up and build the ultimate version of your favorite DC Legends in Injustice 2. With every match, you'll earn gear to equip, customize, and evolve your roster.
Boy, Oceanhorn coming to the Vita. I wanted it to happen. I willed it into existence. I didn't, but a lot of people did. I tweeted at the developer and said, hey, I'm going to hold off, and if you make a Vita version, this would be great. Like
is this
a week
cross-buy?
later, no, it is a separate game, but I think the trophies are also separate. So it's an extra platinum for people who care.
Okay. Because I already bought this game on PS4. It is pretty fun.
Oh, yeah, well, I wanted to wait for Vita, but that may be the thing that hops me back onto the Vita, because it looks kind of like a Wind Waker clone.
Yeah.
And I love Wind
Waker.
Waker.
It kind of is, but it does a good job. I
Oh, yeah, man, a clone is not a bad thing. Like we were talking about that, the Adventure Time Zelda clone was great.
But it's out PS4 digital on Wednesday. Explore the islands of Uncharted Seas.
PS Vita digital.
Did I say PS4?
Yeah, it's PS Vita.
Whoops. Explore the islands of Uncharted Seas, a world filled with many dangers, puzzles, and secrets. Fight monsters, learn to use magic, and discover ancient treasures which will help you on your quest. This is a game I was thinking about that I'm pretty sure we've talked about the one before this before. It's Operation Babel, New Tokyo Legacy. Continue the story Operation Abyss and defend near-future Tokyo from a new threat in this dungeon-crawling RPG. When a mysterious object, dubbed the Embryo, appears in the sky, the CPA and the 10th Squad are mobilized to face the new threat. Venture in a challenging new labyrinth and create the perfect team to challenge each threat. See, this is where we were talking about, I think I said Zith Squad or X Squad the first time, and it was kind of Roman numeral 10 possibly. Secrets of the Fall, PS4 digital
Seasons
title.
after fall.
Boy, I can't read.
It's late and we both had long days.
I should drink some coffee. Seasons After Fall is a 2D platform puzzler game that lets you dive into a captivating universe and explore a land governed by magic and nature. Using your ability to change the seasons, you can alter the world around you to freeze bodies of water in winter, grow plants in the summer, and more. That's very cool sounding.
I think I'm going to really get you that hooked on phonics.
Yeah. No, just give me a good old cup of coffee. That'll be great. Or some eye drops. Shadow Warrior 2, out Friday release for PS4 digital. Shadow Warrior 2 is the stunning evolution of Flying Wild Hog's offbeat first-person shooter following the further misadventures of former corporation Shogun Lo Wang. Never heard of Shadow Warriors at all. I didn't know this is a sequel.
I remember Shadow Warrior. I thought this was already out for some reason, but maybe I think it's been out on PC, and it's just coming to PS4.
Okay.
Must be. But anyway, move along.
Skylar and Plux, Adventure on Clover Island, PS4 digital title for Friday. Skylar and Plux, Adventure on Clover Island is an enthusiastic revival of legendary 3D platinum genre with
3D platformer genre.
Yeah, genre. And classic gameplay.
You said platinum, 3D platinum.
I got them platinums on my mind. Playful gadgets and a lighthearted story set in a gorgeous, colorful, reminiscent of... I missed the word world. Colorful world reminiscent of childhood adventures.
It's times like this where I know that we have no clue what we're doing.
No, we do. It's
Sorry,
just I should
people.
have read through all this. We got the Surge, PS4 digital.
Hold on, I wanted to put a little factoid in about this Adventure on Clover Island game.
Okay. It looks kind of like Banjo and Kazooie.
It's actually been announced that J.J. Abrams said it's going to be part of the Cloverfield universe.
Okay, ignore him. We got the Surge, PS4 digital title. Welcome to Creo, the mega corporation saving the world. A catastrophic event has knocked you down during the first day of your job. You wake up equipped with a heavy-grade exoskeleton in a destroyed section of the complex. Robots gone haywire, insane augmented coworkers, and rogue AI. Everything wants you dead.
So this game actually looks good. This is by the same people who... It's actually by a part of the team. It's one of the co-developers of Lords of the Fallen. This is one we talked about having PS4 Pro support a while back. So it's got that Dark Souls style gameplay, but in like that futuristic...
Wait, this is it?
Yeah, the Surge.
I'll have to look into this, because I actually like Lords of the Fallen a lot.
Yeah, it's and Lords of the Fallen 2 has been being worked on as well. I don't know if you knew that.
It's a...
But yeah, this was the... I can't remember which developer ended up taking this out.
This is the sci-fi one, right?
Yeah, this is the one with robots, and it's like... It looks fine.
Yeah.
Early reviews are saying that the story's kind of cliche, but I mean... I think that everything involving the future and that kind of sci-fi thing it's hard not to be cliche. It's like I was actually really surprised with Horizon.
Yeah, that had a really good story.
It had a very original story.
Last on the list is Tango Fiesta, a PS4 digital title. Tango Fiesta is an action-packed, top-down shooter for 1 to 4 players, set in a world where events from every single 80s action film made actually happened to one lucky hero, John Strong.
It looks like a really buff cartoon version of Nathan Drake.
Kind of, sort of, yeah, I can see that. It's very, very weird art style. Reminds me of Jetpack Jim, I think is what that game was called.
I don't know. But, I'll tell you what I do know.
News.
We got some news, boy. Now, I'm going to be honest, this week has actually kind of been... we're recording on a Friday, which is already different for us. I got to be out of town tomorrow, so it just kind of works out this way. So there's a chance that we miss a little news over the weekend. Hopefully not.
Jetpack Gemini is a Nintendo 64 game. Did not look nothing like that.
Okay. First up on the news list. Square Enix are withdrawing from business with Hitman developer IO Interactive after modest sales to the most recent... God damn you spread it to me. To the most recent Hitman release. The future of the franchise is up in the air, but after Square put Deus Ex on ice for poor performance, it seems likely it will do the same. To be clear, this does not mean that IO is closing. They are looking for a buyer.
Right, so they'll hit
now, the thing is, it seems highly unlikely that whoever buys it will just get the developer, and that Square will keep the Hitman IP. I mean, you would assume.
So is Hitman, this is the one that's episodic, right?
Yes, this is the most recent game.
That kind of sucks.
And it sold somewhere in the ballpark of 675,000.
So that means that this will be put on a hold until then.
Well, that one's already done.
So it actually completed.
It's been done.
Okay. See, I don't
but even now that it's even on disc, the game sold somewhere around 700,000 copies. And just for comparison's sake, the last Hitman game, Absolution, I want to say was what it was called,
on PS3, Xbox 360,
sold around 3 million.
Yeah.
So
good chunk less.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and then definitely with stuff like, with them closing down Deus Ex or not closing down, but, putting Deus Ex on ice for that, for really bad sales performance. It's just interesting. I don't think we'll be seeing Hitman anytime soon, but that's
at least it got done.
Unfortunate for people who like it, but next up is that BioWare have released a new patch for Mass Effect Andromeda, coming in at 1.29 gigs.
Jeez. The
patch seems to focus on improving overall performance and stability, as well as issues with animations getting stuck while jumping or changing direction repeatedly. The patch also adds graphical options to toggle motion blur and depth of field. I thought that was really interesting, because I wonder if that'll actually
turn motion blur off. Thank God.
Yeah, but see, now I don't know about that, but I wonder, will depth of field affect performance at all? Who knows? But I think it's cool to give them...
depth of field is different from field of view, isn't it?
Yes. Well, no. Field of view is your depth of field.
That's what I thought. Okay, it could.
But I mean, I don't know. That's what it's supposed to be, at least. We'll see how that ends up working out.
Yeah. Turn that film game off on that game.
As just a small aside, we were talking earlier. As it stands right now, BioWare Montreal, is that right?
I think so.
That sounds right. They are being kind of scaled down, and some of the teams are going to other teams within the EA stable to help finish other games. And looks like for now, maybe Mass Effect's kind of on hiatus again. Can't say for sure.
It was Montreal.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So they're going out they're helping Edmonton and all these other Edmonton studio, the Austin studio. So, hopefully it doesn't look like anybody's getting fired, which is good. It's just like they're being redistributed into other EA companies. So that's good. No jobs lost, but for people who wanted to see another Mass Effect, it's
if I remember correctly, some of the team are going to Battlefront too.
Yeah, to help get that done for DICE. All right, next thing up on the list, and this is actually part of kind of the topic of the show, or the topic of the week, or topic of the episode, or whatever the hell you want to call it. In recent interviews regarding Knack 2, Mark Cerny, the director for the game and also the head architect for the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, has talked about making the sequel better. The sequel is set to have varied platforming section, with Cerny saying, and this is a quote, "As a launch title, it's hard to find the time to put all the things into the game, especially those that only a subset of the audience would see. Also, I didn't really appreciate how many people liked and expected to see that much platforming," end quote. It's a little bit of a weird way to word it, but he's also kind of an odd guy. He said, I didn't appreciate how many people liked it, but he means he didn't realize how many people would care. So along with that, combat also sees improvements alongside the platforming. with the game including chain maneuvers, dodges, grapples, shields, weapons, and upgrade trees that allow you to add up to 30 boosts and special moves.
It's like, boy, this God of War game sounds fun.
The game is expected to release in 2017, so I'm expecting some kind of an E3.
Yeah.
Because they announced it at PSX, so I'm assuming we see it at E3, we get a date at E3.
I played 4 hours of the first one when Joe brought his PS4 to my apartment.
I love
when he
that
first
game.
Got it. It seemed charming.
So many people. I won't say. Obviously, a lot of people liked it, but there's a vocal enough minority that just had issues. Don't get me wrong. Not to say that game didn't need changes for a sequel. I'm glad they're happening.
Yeah, because I mean, it seemed charming enough to deserve at least.
And
a
co-op is built from the ground up for this game. You can drop in a second. The first one? Yes, but it was very secondary, weird thing.
And
you couldn't be anywhere. You couldn't be any part of the game. Whereas this one, you could be any part of the game.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah.
So it's odd, but it works out. One of the cool things is that you could use your Vita to co-op with it, and you'd be like cool. A little robot Knack.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
Anyway, so I'm excited for that, but that's because I am someone who likes that era of games. I thought that game was really well made. Next up, Need for Speed developer Ghost Games has confirmed that there will be a new Need for Speed game coming this year, which I'm excited about. I like the last one a lot.
I still need to play it.
You can just borrow it. Okay. New game coming this year, and have teased a few details regarding the title. First and foremost, the game will not be always online, which was some issue that people had with the first game.
It's a weird.
Didn't bother me, but I do get some people. It's a lot like
game.
Dark Souls and stuff. You can't pause, and some people don't like that in racing games.
That is weird. I didn't know you couldn't pause.
Well, it's always online. You're always connected.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense. Can't pause an online world. So the game will not be always online, with the developer saying, quote, "When release day rolls around, the next Need for Speed, you will be able to play through a single-player experience completely offline. Before you ask, and we know you will, this does mean you will be able to pause the game."
Good.
End quote. They also talk about customization staying in the series, which obviously is something that was missing from the series for a long time and finally made it back with 2015's entry. And they talk all about how it's important to them. It's important moving
Customizing
forward.
Was in the new one, right?
Yes.
Okay, I would not play it.
Good customization. Okay. Awesome customization.
Because Need for Speed was
and more than visual customization, the customization's even great in the control. Like, you can customize so much how your car handles.
That's what I missed about Most Wanted on Vita.
Yeah.
But that was Criterion.
They also talk about customization staying in the series, adding off-road driving, and improving cop chases, which was lackluster in the newest game. Not terrible, but not great. And it doesn't have that same sense of... With them adding off-road, I'm hoping this is something kind of like what Carbon had, where there's like hazards that when you're running from the cops, you can knock the hazards down and create obstructions for them. I don't know. Be interesting. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if old-style shortcuts kind of come back into the fold.
I honestly kind of miss a game where I'm not being chased by police. I just miss racing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of a thing in this
Well, I mean, but it's fun. That was one of the best parts. The cool-down areas and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was a cool way to do it. Expect to see more in an announcement trailer at the EA Play event this June. That happens before E3, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Saturday?
So a week before, basically.
Before the Sunday that Microsoft goes on, if I'm not mistaken.
So Saturday of the beginning of the week for E3.
Well, technically, the end of the week before E3. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, next up on the list, Sony has hired former Lionhead studio director Stuart White to head up their new role as director of VR product development over at its London studio. London studio are the team responsible for PlayStation VR Worlds, the launch game that had a bunch of little mini experiences in it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Which was cool. I mean, it was well made, so it's cool to see them do that. But in a quote with games, in an interview with GameIndustry.biz, White said, quote, "I'm super excited to be joining the London team to lead them further on their journey to become the world's leading AAA VR team," end quote. I think this is mostly interesting, and it's one of the main reasons I decided to include it. Is this seems like not necessarily renewed hope, but this seems like continued investment into VR as a platform for Sony. So I think this is cool for PSVR specifically, because it means that they have a first-party studio dedicated to making games for it. And I mean, the London studios kind of stayed that weird. They make all the offside games, because they also did what's the game called that comes to do PlayStation? The Playroom. They do all these weird experimental games, but it's nice to see them have a chance. Like they did there was some game on the VR Worlds, I can't remember, the Heist. The London Heist.
Oh yeah, where you're driving in the car.
And that one was really well made. I'd like to see something like that fully expanded on and kind of have the same, what looks to be production values of something like Farpoint.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool to see. So that's exciting. Last up for me on this, and this is something I thought was really cool when they announced it last year, or when they announced it at PSX. Martial arts focused action RPG Absolver will be releasing August 29th on PS4. Publisher Devolver Digital has announced. The game lets you choose a combat style, each with a special ability, and assemble a custom combat deck to create your own personal fighting system in real-time combat. Along with this announcement, they have released a new trailer that dives deeper into Absolver's combat. So if you want to see it more in action, go check the trailer out. It's really good. I think the game looks dope. It almost kind of looks like it's got hints of what made For Honor, what people like to, kind of interesting. So,
yeah, I just looked up some screenshots of it. Like the mask they wear in those games are really cool.
Yeah, and these are ex-Ubisoft employees that came together and made their own studio. So,
got it.
It's Triangle Squared Podcast.
Got it. Okay.
You're missing up, boy. So that was the last of the news. But one thing I want to clean up before we go into the main topic is that there is a reader mail response from our buddy Phase 4 Delta. In where
is that the same person?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And actually, yeah, you're right, man. This screenshot is kind of blech on here. I guess I should have handled it differently. But I do want to read it because it's regarding our talks back and forth for Call of Duty World War II. Early days when it was still in the rumored stage, but we basically knew what it was. I had some qualms with it, and then definitely me and him had another conversation. I think it was episode 5 that this ended up happening in. Maybe it was last week, where we talked about I don't see the value in them redoing essentially World at War just on next gen consoles. And he obviously had his own opinion on it. But Salk, go ahead and read Calvin's response. It's really aimed a little more at me, but I do want to go ahead and read it, and because he agrees with Saul a lot. So I want to see what your side of it was.
Sure. I noticed that you guys briefly brought up Call of Duty 2, or World War II. You seem to not like it at all. Since that was a week ago and now I can't remember exact word used, although I can't quote anything specific, the general feeling was displeasure. I personally find this Call of Duty game to revive the franchise. Now, I know multiple times you've stated that you really like Infinite Warfare, and I personally stopped playing COD since Modern Warfare 3. But something about this new old COD seems refreshing. I don't think it's that COD fans wanted to return to World War II, but the game itself actually looks amazing and reminiscent of the birth of the esports era, as I like to call it. Games battles, Halo, Call of Duty. I use game battles a lot for Halo 3. It's pretty cool. Although the game will likely not have that level of customization the recent games have, it will still be very gritty, skill-based first-person shooter. I recommend playing Call of Duty 2.
You remember?
I remember.
Damn,
man,
Saul, come
coffee.
on, man. I can't let you read anything.
Yeah, I remember playing Call of Duty 2 online and having fun. I remember Call of Duty 3 online and loving it. World at War, not so much, but still. This is going to be the first time a lot of older Call of Duty fans who essentially left the Call of Duty scene will have a chance to really reenact D-Day and have that band of brothers, Saving Private Ryan type of connection to the game. The single-player campaign is going to be amazing, and I think the multiplayer will be good as well. The other thing I think will happen is because of DICE going back to their roots and essentially recreating Battlefield 1942. I remember back to the day playing Call of Duty 1 for the single-player and playing Battlefield 1942 for the multiplayer. Now for the first real time we could be getting ready to see Battlefield franchise and Call of Duty franchise go head-to-head and back to their roots and make it happen will be an absolute awesome to the first-person genre.
And I love his too long didn't read. Call of Duty World War II will be good for the culture and essentially push DICE to recreate Battlefield 1942 and have a head-on battle between the two.
Yeah.
So, a couple things I want to say. A, I have no doubt in my mind the game will be good.
Oh, yeah.
That is not where my qualms lie with it. I think that there are plenty of great games, even. Okay, I won't say great. There are plenty of good games, well-made games that people spend a lot of time on that are reflected in the quality. That they try too hard to borrow from a time past. And there's like a fine line between trying to get inspiration from the past and trying to push into the future. And I feel like that line here, definitely with the inclusion of the Nazi zombie stuff, it just seems like it's too fan servicey and not enough of art. And I know it sounds weird, but as one of those things, I mean, any form of content is art. What we do is technically art for those who consume it, enjoy it, and have something to say about it. I mean, you know, it's not conventional art in the way you think about art, but in terms of what it is, games are art. And I like to see games push into new boundaries and not do things just because they feel like the fan service is required to continue going with the game. So with this specific thing, it's I know that you kind of said, and let me pull it up real quick. You said a line in here specifically. I was like, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. Let's see.
Thank you for writing into us again, though.
Wish I'd had this pulled up already.
I gotta feel the dead air somehow.
Okay, you said that I don't think it's that Call of Duty fans wanted to return to World War II, but that the game itself actually looks amazing and is reminiscent of the birth of the esports era. Okay, I think for you that could be very well true, and I'm not going to take that away from you. Obviously, you have that opinion, but I know that there are very, very vocal, at least minority. I mean, and how big that pool really is ever changing, and you don't really know because it changes from game to game as well. But there are definitely a pool of people whose issues were that they wanted the game to go back to boots on the ground, World War II. It's essentially that these are people that wanted the same Call of Duty game that they already have gotten 4 times before. And it's not that there's something wrong with that, but when wanting the same thing in lieu of someone pushing forward to do something, it gets to a point where it irks me a weird way. Because I always say with like sequels and stuff, you've got to try and touch on what made the first game great, or made the beginning games great, but you also have to try and touch on something new. And I don't feel like they're doing enough of that here. The only thing we may see is that, yes, the performance capture's better, the engine's better, we're seeing better graphics, we're having a little more into it, but it's still essentially the same game, and I feel like it's playing it a little too safe. I would have liked to see them steer into a more ballsy direction. Now, that maybe that's what they're doing with the online aspect of the game, and it's hard for me to really care because I don't play the online in these games. Definitely not that way. I hardly play them at all. So, in my opinion, they may be trying to steer. It seems like they're doing that hub world thing that Destiny has pulling off, and they're going back to. And this is something I'm curious about: is how it's going to work in multiplayer. Is it going to be regenerative health or what? However, they're.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, it's.
Technically, you don't know, man.
There's always been though these differences in campaign to multiplayer stuff with Call of Duty.
But
games.
I want to say every Call of Duty game I've ever played has had regenerative health, even Call of Duty 2.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm talking about regenerative health in the storyline.
No,
it's not
going to have in the storyline, but also in the storyline of Call of Duty games, there are guns with these attachments you can't get in multiplayer. There's always these differences.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that as they're talking about, excuse me, they're talking about doing regenerative or non-regenerative health, at least in the story for sure. I mean, that's been confirmed. But the thing is, that's never been in the story before, so it's not like they're touching back. I'll give them that. That's something cool. Yes, it's something I've seen in a World War II based game. Resistance 1 and 3 were both non-regenerative health. You had to get health packs. You had little brackets of health. Great. At least it's something new for the franchise. But like I say, if they're pioneering more in the multiplayer section, that's fine. But my opinion, as of right now, and I could be standing wrong, I don't know that I'll even give myself the time of day, definitely with how much stuff is coming out around that time, or what is supposed to be coming out around that time. I don't even know if I'll get around to playing it, because it's just, I don't have that pull. I do appreciate your opinion. I get it that there are plenty of people that agree with that, and I'm glad you're excited that it's coming back to what you like about Call of Duty. I say, if it says you quit playing around Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, dude, if you get a chance to borrow or play Infinite Warfare, and this is not just me continuously blowing smoke up a game's ass. I'm someone who's very hard on Call of Duty games because they play fantastically, but they've gotten to this point where they have very cliche stories. You talk about, dude, one of the best campaigns I've played all last year. I still remember it fondly. I beat it, and then I actually doubled back and beat it again. Rare for me in that kind of game. It's just not the way I play Call of Duty games, and it's rare that I even beat a Call of Duty story after Modern Warfare 2. And I think Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were great, but they were the same game. And the 3, from what I saw at the end, same game. They got into a rut. 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 They got and I felt like Infinite Warfare was the first time that they really broke out of that rut. But to each their own, it's all differing opinions. But yeah, definitely appreciate you writing in, and I think it's interesting that you and Saul do seem to come a little more eye to eye on this.
I'll play it with you.
And this is someone, it seems like y'all both kind of have that esports thing going for you. As someone who doesn't care about that, I am more specifically concerned with the story aspect of it. So,
yeah, and see, I can agree to you. Last Call of Duty game I hardcorely played was Mass Effect 3, Modern Warfare 3. That was the one that I put in. At my time for the, if you look at my profile time, it was days of time, not hours. I really haven't jumped into a Call of Duty game that much. We played Advanced Warfare.
We played Advanced Warfare a lot, to be fair,
but nowhere near the caliber of I think, and I get what he's saying about going back to those glory days, because for me, not only was it part of the esports thing, but there are these YouTubers who lost, and not hope, but they kind of just lost interest in it, and now they're on Counter-Strike and stuff like that. Guys like Jericho, T Martin, even though he's kind of a fraudster, but T Martin, and then you got Woody's Gamertag. You got all these people that left the scene to go do other games like Minecraft, Counter-Strike, Overwatch, and I really want to see them return, because there was a thing back then of going to YouTube and looking up class setups, because that's how in-depthly these games could actually be. Where you could check out all these class setups.
But part of this comes back to me is this rose-tinted nostalgia glasses?
If they remastered Modern Warfare 3, I'd go back and play it.
Well, no, what I mean by that is that is it the nostalgia that's set on by the fact that this looks like an old Call of Duty game that's making people have? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I'm not saying that
not so much for me.
Not
so much for me for nostalgia. I think that I'm glad they're going in the direction they're going, even though I know you don't like World War II that much. It brings me back to Medal of Honor games for PS2, and I really like those style of games in that time era in gaming, and I'm really hoping that the campaign delivers, and then I'm hoping that the multiplayer is top notch. Get rid of this microtransaction bullshit that's been in the last couple games. Get rid of these. I'm not a huge fan of these toys that you get as weapons. You run around with a baseball bat and crap. Get that out of.
I'll tell you what I don't like, I thought that it would have been an interesting addition in Black Ops 3. I hated it, and I hated it even more in Modern Warfare. In Infinite Warfare's multiplayer. The skill or whatever your special ability is, hated that.
Oh, that didn't bother me that much.
Don't wrong. I just thought I hated it. It was kind of pointless and dumb, and I just felt like it detracted from.
I got killed by a baseball bat. That's a melee weapon, and it kind of goes back to the roots of melee used to be one hit kill.
I think where my real issue with Call of Duty comes is I like class based games. That's why I love Killzone 3 so much.
I'm surprised you don't like Overwatch.
I like actual class-based games, like shit like that. Because, hold on, I'm not calling the game shit. It's shit to me because I don't like that style of game. It's obviously a well-made game. People love it. I don't like that style of class-based. That's a little more Team Fortress style, where it's very, very collaborative gameplay. I like a game to have that competitive aspect that Call of Duty has, but still have the back-end systems to where when you're doing team deathmatch, there's reasons for you to do extra things outside of killing. And those extra things also pull more into your final score, and it determines a bunch of things. One of my favorite things about Killzone 3 is every class came together. It's you started with limited ammo. If you wanted your team to win, you didn't have to do a lot of things to specifically help one other person or help. It was just here's my class. I'm a medic. I can run by, see somebody, heal them. It doesn't even take 2 seconds. If I'm an engineer, at the beginning of every map, all of the ammo crates are broken. You have to run through. If you're an engineer, you can set up bots, or you can also repair the ammo crates.
You should really play Overwatch, because that's a lot like you're describing.
I played Overwatch, but I mean that's not what I'm looking for. I don't know how to describe why the differences are there, but it's not what I'm looking for.
Well, Phase 4 Delta, thank you once again for submitting. If you're interested, just hit up trianglesquaredpodcast@gmail.com. Shoot us some mail. We'll read it.
We'll spend an exorbitantly long amount of time on it.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
I didn't mean to do it this way, but I guess it's a good topic in its own.
Well, yeah, and this is kind of another thing, is that it's something we forgot about because it's not something that we've ever had. So this is actually a couple episodes late, because this is from a couple.
He sent it in right after episode 5, and then we missed it right after we recorded. I found it right after we recorded last
But
night.
if you want to play Call of Duty or Destiny with me, we've got our gamer tags.
Yeah,
this ain't Xbox.
actually, yeah. If you play online for Phase Delta, you can hit both of us up, add us on. He plays more than I do online, just to be fair.
What I do play, but yeah.
Yeah, but moving on into the
Tots.
No, don't. No, that's not. Moving on to what we really want to talk about with this show is what I want to say is that with the market right now, you're kind of seeing a spike up in the 3D platformers of yesteryear, as I want to make them sound. So, one thing I think is important to say is that this is not the first time that we've seen this rise back for 3D platformers, but, you know, kind of where I stand on this is that I'm excited, but I'm very cautiously excited because this is not the first time I've allowed myself to get excited about what seems like they're about to be a steady stream of these again, and then it just goes downhill. I thought surely when Sly Cooper Thieves in Time came out, Sly Cooper 4, fantastic game. I was like, this is awesome. Extremely well made game. I beat it. I was like, this game is going to sell so well. It's going to get everybody hyped. We're going to have this new influx of these great 3D platforming games that have all these interesting mechanics, like Sly, like Ratchet. And yes, Ratchet and Clank, I do consider that part of this still coming back as a 3D platformer. There's shooting elements and all sorts of stuff, but I mean, at its heart, I think it is still a 3D platformer. You see stuff like Yooka-Laylee come out, and it's about very polarizing reviews. So I guess what I want to say is, like, you know, my question, and I guess I'm going to ask you and see what your thoughts are. How do you feel about the return of the 3D platformer for now?
Yeah.
And how do you kind of feel about the games you see, like Knack 2 being announced? That looks awesome. I'm surprised it's getting another chance. That's another new 3D platformer. Yooka-Laylee came. I'm hoping we see more Sly.
Yeah.
Mario's this year, which I know Mario never goes away, but this year seems like it's got a couple of big hits on it. So how does it make you feel? A, where do you stand on, you know, where are they at? And then B, do you think it's actually here to stay, or will it go back down to where it's just Mario and Nintendo doing their 3D platformer thing?
I don't think it's here to stay, unfortunately. I love 3D platformers. Absolutely, you know, Spyro and Crash would be, I guess, kind of one.
Crash is
some people consider it 2.5D, but same difference.
Well, only the first game, because the second and the third game are definitely
and then you got Super Mario 64 and games like that. Knack, not so much, I don't think, because I don't think just going by the sales of the first one, and it was bundled in a lot too.
That game wasn't bundled. That game actually sold pretty well.
I thought that game was the very first bundle.
No.
I guess I remember Joe just picking that game up because it was just a launch title.
Yeah, a lot of people did. That game sold over 1 million.
But
then again, it's a launch title, so it's hard to say. Everybody's thirsty and hungry for those games that are new and different.
I think if they reinvented Sly again, and I mean like a whole new Sly series, I think it'll be even better because people who are late to the series or who never played, there's no like way for them to join. Just like Knack 2. You didn't play Knack 2, you're not going to pick up. Or Knack 1, you're not going to pick up Knack 2.
Yeah.
And then Sly, so if they make Sly 5, then nobody's going to play it if they didn't play Sly 4. So then this is going to go over a thing where it's not going to sell well. It's going to go down to $30, and it's going to go down to $20. Then it's going to be on flash sales, and then it's just going to go back down.
Quit making these damn games with cliffhanger endings because I need Sly 5 because Sly 4 ends in such a specific way. I didn't
play Sly 4.
Which, don't get me wrong, I will be ecstatic if they even come out and just say, new Sly game built from the ground up. It's going to be a whole new thing. And, there's still supposed to be a Sly Cooper movie, so part of me still thinks it's what we'll see.
Kind of like with Ratchet.
Yeah, but I don't know, because Ratchet movie didn't do very good. So that might have pulled the plug on the Sly movie to begin with.
Yeah, and I think that there's definitely a place for him in today's gaming. I think that there is.
Is there enough of the market to sustain them if they actually were able?
If they actually tried to make it into the market, then yeah. If they stopped, I think that a lot of these 3D platformers we've seen lately, a lot of low effort. I would almost very well call Yooka-Laylee low effort.
I mean,
just because of how long it was in production doesn't mean they didn't. I'm sure they worked hard on it, but that game's empty. I
haven't played it, so I'm going to reserve judgment.
But the game is there's all these places, and they're just empty places. Like Final Fantasy 15, you can go to these nice looking places, but it's just so barren. And I mean, in the end, for me, I love platformers. I love, especially going back to 2D platformers like Castlevania. I know that's not what our topic really is about. I think that would probably be more.
Platforming will never go away. That's the thing. But the 3D platformer we're specifically talking about is like this kind of mascot driven, and not necessarily mascot, but a very character driven.
No, I think you're pretty right about mascot driven, though. To be honest.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they don't really call them mascot platformers anymore. It's what they were in that
64,
really
PS1
heavy
days.
PS2, PS1
days,
era. Yeah, because I mean, the mascot platformers were Mario, Sonic,
Crash.
Crash was gone by the PS2 times is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
He was gone, but it was they had Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper.
Speaking of which,
they had all these big, they had Ratchet and Clank. So it was a big time for, hey, here's new innovations, and these are the things we can do with these 3D platformers we couldn't do. And then it's actually got interesting because the 3D platformers started to change. And I think that's part of it is that I think genres are so expansive and engulf so many areas that the 3D platformer is almost too simple. Because like even talking about Knack has got this, with what they're talking about adding in, it's like, yes, we're going to make it a little more true to platforming. It's going to be more fun, non-floating platforms. Everything's going to be in motion, a little harder for you to do. It's going to be fun, that effort. But it's like, on the back end of that, we also want to add real combat, deepness. We want to add skill trees.
And see, when does that become an action-adventure game?
Well, okay, do you consider Ratchet and Clank a 3D platformer? Because really, the bulk of its gameplay is shooting. Yeah,
I guess you're right.
And that's what I'm saying is I think that the 3D platformer, now there are games like Yooka-Laylee that are true 3D platformers. That's just kind of what you do. But
and then you got,
I think it's because, if you really want to get into it, Sly's a stealth game. Yes, it's a 3D platformer. There's times we would do this, but the game is very heavily centered around what you're doing stealthily.
See, I think it's more so of a 3D platformer than stealth for me.
It's more of a 3D platformer in terms of its gameplay balance than something like Ratchet and Clank is.
Yeah.
But I think that they're all 3D platformers in the same thing, where 3D platformer ends up being the back end, and like there's a main genre ahead of it, and then the 3D platformer is kind of the back end element.
Well, yeah, and see, I think that honestly, if 3D platforming was to stay, I think that it should start off with almost like classical way, where there are no weapons. Kind of like you go back to Mario 64 and there is no weapons.
I don't
you go
know,
back to
though,
Crash,
man.
you don't really have
attention
weapons.
spans. I don't think you're going to get enough people to buy into it, and I think that I could keep saying gaming has come so far. How do you sell a game that's just a 3D platformer? I don't even think Yooka-Laylee did that well, but it was a Kickstarter game, so it didn't really have to do well. You know what I mean? All you had to please was the people that paid for it up front.
Well, see, I think a lot of people, I really hope Crash does sell well, because that's what, a month and like 15 days from now, 18 days from now?
Yeah, it's like 47 days or something.
But I really want it to do well, but I'm not entirely sure it will, because of the people who aren't interested in those type of games anymore.
Here's the thing. I think specifically Crash will do well because it's Crash, because there's been this hunger for it. Now, don't get me wrong, level of well, I don't know. I feel like it'll sell 1 million. Do you think that's that crazy?
I hope it sells that much. I would honestly
think
Knack
sold 1 million, and that got fucking...
That was a launch title, though.
But it got dragged across the fucking cold stones,
That was a lot of people's first,
I'll tell you right now, I guarantee you, I think Knack 2 sells above 1 million copies.
Ooh, I don't think so. Because see, when PS4 came out, there was no family-friendly games.
Well,
and that was the go-to.
Yeah, but this is another. There's not family-friendly games really outside of this. This is like
they're very few and far between. Few
and far between.
Yeah,
there's not a saturated market, so I think if anything, it actually helps that those kind of games. So I think that's where 3D platformers come in. Kids and parents who want to play with their kids, who remember playing Nintendo, but they don't get all these new crazy games. I don't understand Call of Duty, but I can play Knack with my son.
And see, that's a thing that's is also kind of a danger zone. Is you don't want to make them too easy to appeal to older.
No. Knack was fucking hard. Dude, on hard difficulty.
I'll say that. I do remember Joe told me there were parts of that game that were hard.
Dude, that game was hard, but they designed it in such a way where it's like kids could play it. And actually, I'll tell you, the challenge of the 3D platformer back in the day is what made them fun. The challenge of the 2D platformer is what made them fun.
Castlevania was soul-rippingly hard to young me.
Sonic was super hard to me as a kid because everything's moving so quickly, and it's like you have to have really quick reflex speed. But I got to a point where I love Sonic. But it was like the challenge of Sonic is what made it fun to me. And then when we got Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure, it got even more crazy. I was like, oh man. You aim for that kind of quick gameplay, but that's a different tangent. But
yeah, and see, I
guess it still comes down to I think you don't think they're here to stay. How do you? Actually, how do you feel about them? Are you enjoying that they're back? Kind of.
I love 3D platforming, so very much. That was probably my entry to early to mid teens that I can remember the most of Crash and Mario. Are they here to stay? Probably not. I don't think that. In a world filled where Call of Duty makes most of its money on microtransactions, I don't think that they're here to stay. And it's sad.
But I mean, most games make the majority of it. Right now, there's that breathing economy game where it's like a long game as a platform, where it's like we're going to release Rainbow Six and we're going to continue to make money off of this same Rainbow Six for 2 years.
I don't know if I like that either because I guess
I don't like it because when I'm done with it, because I don't play online.
Yeah,
I would never even buy Overwatch because Overwatch doesn't have story.
See,
And that's what I would want. Because here's the thing. I love Killzone 3's online. Guess what I love more? The story.
well, yeah, and see, that's where I'm kind of hypocritical, is that, like, I criticize Call of Duty, but I love Overwatch, and that has the same type of microtransactions. Now, granted, Call of Duty has these weird guns that you can get now that are different, and Overwatch is skins, which I have sunk a decent amount of money into. But, anyways, I want them to stay. I just don't think they are. I think that 3D platforming is a thing that comes around once every 7 or 8 years. It stays for a year, and then it disappears. Now,
I'd say it comes a little more often than that. I'd say once every 3 to 4 years it comes back. Because the last Sly...
well, before Knack, what was that? Well, I guess Sly. Yeah, so you're about right. That was 2012? Or 2010.
It was 2013, I think, before the PS3. Before the PS4 announced.
Yeah.
But before the PS4 launched.
Okay.
It came out that year. Because it was crossed by Vita PS3.
What was the Partners in Time collection? Is that what it was called? The Sly collection?
No, it's just called the Sly Collection.
Supposed to be getting another collection.
That was 2010.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. I was on say that one was not too long after I graduated, because I remember that coming out. But I want them to stay. I mean, like, what about you? Do you like? I want them to.
Love them.
I do too. Like,
It's a big deal for me. I love Knack. It wasn't even because it was just like when they showed it, I was like, that looks awesome. To me, that was the first real example of a Pixar style looking game on a system. I thought that game was really pretty. The game was well made. Had a cute, charming story, but it wasn't too much. Kind of what made the Crash games fun. You don't feel like you have to get too invested. You know, normally I love a story, but that's one of the great things about 3D platformers is you can be a little removed.
yeah, you can watch a podcast.
Ratchet and Clank, you don't really
play.
remember the story that much. You just remember that it was fun doing all the things.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a cool story. It was fun. I love them for this weird, like, jovial nonchalanceness to them. It's like I feel like I can just play them and have fun. Hannah gets interested in them and either wants to really watch me play them or she wants to try and play them herself. She tried playing Ratchet and Clank. She got decent. She's not very good at games, but you know.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's interesting. I think it pulls more people in, and I think that definitely in the PS3 era, games started going so far into that hyper realistic or that JRPG, but these are both two areas that normal people can't look at and go, oh, that looks like something I'd want to play.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the great thing about 3D platformers is you pull some of that Nintendo crowd. And what I mean by Nintendo crowd is the people who typically go to Nintendo because the games are what they're looking for. Easy to digest, simple art style that their kids will enjoy, gameplay their kids will enjoy, but they'll also enjoy.
Yeah, that's what I like about.
And don't wrong, I don't like Mario Kart. We've already had this discussion. There's plenty of games. I thought Mario 64 wasn't a very fun game, but I know everyone thinks I'm crazy. But more importantly, being is I get it. When I look at them, I'm like, I see why people like this.
Yeah,
and it's a good way to pull people in. So I think, I'm glad they're back. B, I don't see them being around.
So same. We got the same kind of conclusion here.
But.
We both want them to be so much.
There's a very, very, very hopeful part of me that thinks that if they continue to do this right, they can carve a big enough niche in the market to where they stay, but they're never as grandiose as they really could be.
Or have been.
But that's okay.
Yeah, because at least they're here.
Because they're here.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. If I can get Sony to consistently make a high-quality Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, and kind of rotate these out along with their big, very serious games. And that's part of what I want right now. Sony showing Days Gone, Last of Us Part 2, God of War, these very heavy, gritty. And don't wrong, these games look awesome. But I would love, in between there,
to just get some kind of like some
I'm so
distraction
excited,
game.
I'm so excited for Crash. Because this whole year has been very serious. I get to have me just a little fun Crash, you know. I'm gonna run around. I know this fucking game is back of my hand, man. I know these games super well. But I'm excited to play them again, experience them again. So when Knack 2 rolls around, I'm excited because literally Knack's gonna be the standout game.
When does Knack 2 come out? Do we know?
2017. My assumption is because of the market it's in and everything it's in,
it's gonna die.
It can come out anywhere because it's the standout game. I guarantee you no other 3D platformer comes out in the same time.
No other 3D platformer, but like you get into.
But that's what I mean. That's why it'll stand out.
Well, I was gonna say
the only thing that could kill it, and I do mean this. The only thing I could really see killing it is Mario Odyssey.
Well, and
that's it. If they steer clear of Mario Odyssey, and even then it wouldn't completely kill it because the Switch audience is still smaller than the PS4 audience. So for these people who look and go, that's people who are a little more, they like all these genres, they're going to look at Knack and go, this is something a little different. This is cool. This is refreshing. Definitely they like the first Knack. Some people are like, I'm just going to try it.
Yeah. And I really hope...
Because you'd be surprised. Some people don't care if they played the first game or not.
That's a weird person.
It is, but there are people that don't care.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm excited for the 3D platformer genre. You know, towards the end of this year, we got Destiny 2, Call of Duty. We got these games.
And that's what I mean.
Have a break
every
in there
one
would
of
be
them is
nice.
that ridiculous. And they're all shooters. They're all heavily competitive online. And that's what I mean is there is mindshare for these easier, simpler, pretty games that are fun that you can play with your girlfriend, you can play with your wife, you can play with your kids. You know what I mean?
First of all, they'd have to support co-op.
Well, I mean, I think majority, like I said, Knack 2 is doing it from the ground up. But even then, it's something you can watch your kid play and help your kid play. And it's fun for you to even help them.
I mean, they just need to bring back split screen on these games, too.
Yeah, but, so, I mean,
I really
I'm telling
want
you, dude,
them to make
I
it.
think Knack 2 comes out. I think it does well. I think it's the standout game. And I think that it's the beginning of us seeing Sony not necessarily full-fledged, pushing it like they push these serious third-person narrative games they're doing, which I don't necessarily want them to do that. I'd have no qualms with it.
Right.
But I think it's what you start to see. You start to see Sony go, okay, this sold well enough that we're going to keep making these little titles here and there. Kind of like when Nintendo does this, like the little Mr. Toad offshoot on the Wii U. No one thought that, but it sold well. People liked it.
The game came out?
Yeah. They did a Mr. Toad's Little Adventure. And that's what I mean. They can do these small side games and just have fun with them. And there is a market, I think, there.
Yeah.
I think if you don't try and push this extremely polished, which I mean, it just depends, man.
You can't compare.
That's something from a game
Destiny
development
2
standpoint. I don't know how that works. I don't know how big the team Mark Cerny has and Japan Studio have for Knack 2. It'd be interesting. I think how much it makes. I think Knack 2 will be a big turning point, specifically for Sony's side of it.
It'll be turning. Yeah, it'll certainly be.
And I think Crash Bandicoot will be part of it because there's parts of me that keep thinking that definitely with the exclusivity shit going around with Crash Bandicoot, whether it is or isn't,
Xbox One in a year,
that I think if it does really well, that Sony fights A for it to remain exclusive, and B, I think though if it's not whole exclusive, they're going to do that kind of Tomb Raider wording where they don't talk about it until later. They're like, oh hey, it is coming. But if it does really well, maybe Sony pushes and goes, we want to keep this exclusive. We want to fund a new one. Keep doing it that way.
I hope it'll do something like that.
So Crash does well. Knack does well. They throw me in a new little sly. However they want to do it, reboot a new game. It does okay.
I'll say, and then you got Mario for the other side.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, but the thing is,
that's going to help contribute to.
But Nintendo kind of lives and breathes in its own market, man. Because Mario games have been doing great as 3D platformers every generation, including the Wii, which was going head to head with the PS3 that had none of them.
But
really.
Still, people who pick up a Switch, and to be honest, there's not a whole lot of games out. They're going to get Mario Odyssey when it comes out.
Yeah,
and then they're going.
But do you think Sony looks at that number really? Because
I don't know. I don't think Sony looks.
But
at
you
it,
think it makes game publishers as a whole look?
No. I just think it makes, like, you play a Super Mario game that's really good, and you're like, man, I wish I had something like this on PS4. And then something like it comes out on PS4, and you're like, man, I'm glad this came out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so like it puts you in that good old mood.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's interesting. It's happened so many times that maybe it sticks this time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Or I guess my other thing is that if it doesn't stick this time, I almost just hope that it dies so that it stops being so embarrassing. But that's not true. Because, the thing is, even though they come back every couple of years, I'm always super excited. Yeah. I was excited about Knack. I was excited about Sly. So, even if I only get one excitement for that kind of game every 4 years, I'll take it.
Right.
But
it needs to be good.
Yeah.
And enjoyable.
Well, this has been episode 7 of Triangle Squared. I think this was fun, actually.
Yeah, I like these more casual topics. Yeah, they work well, and you guys always let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, hey, let us know what 3D platformers you like. If there's any that you're excited about that are coming, if there's any that you would like to see from Sony or any really game company at E3 or some kind of PSX, a smaller, more personal announcement, kind of like they did with Knack 2. If there's any topics that you would like to hear us talk about, definitely do that. If you have any responses to things we say, you have your own opinion, you can tweet at us, you can email us, you can do all that. New episodes, like we said, 12 p.m. every Monday, Central Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. But until next week, next episode, this has been Triangle Squared.
Thank you, guys.